and welcome to this live divination ceremony where we are asking, where does our attention need to be in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? This divination ceremony is brought to you by the Unbound Witches of Bright and Dark. Your altar crew today is Ocean and myself, Jen Marie. And yeah, before we get into it, though, I believe that we have some voice of God announcements. All right, God, what do we got going on at the Resource Center this week?
Thank you, Jen Marie. This is Ocean as the voice of God. And following our flow towards longer form content, we will be moving our lives fully to the red play button app. Um, and we will be not streaming on Instagram next weekend. So this was our last weekend. I'm so sorry on the picture on the camera app. And the second announcement is that we are excited to announce our new podcast, Wisdom in the Weave. This will be a live podcast with the Unbound Witches of the Bright and Dark support team. Experience the magic of the path of a witch born of shadow through those who have been walking it for years. Our first episode will be streaming live on March 28th, and you can go ahead and check our free app. We have it in the events for the time in your time zone. And so that's community at brightanddark.org. Thanks, Jen Marie. Back to you.
Yes. Thanks, God. I've been sitting here giggling about it for a long time. I'm very, very glad that Ocean muted me during that. We were talking just before we went live that watching the playback of the video during the voice of God announcements, I can't hear what they're saying. So it's like a video of me kind of like just sitting here awkwardly fidgeting. So we figured we would level up, and we did. You're welcome. Okay, this is a collective divination ceremony. You are as much a part of this as I am. I refuse to engage with you as if you don't have access to the same information that I do. So, if you have a relationship with a deck of tarot cards or oracle cards, you're going to want to go and grab those. I am pulling cards for the collective, but you're able to pull cards for your specific flow as well. And you can put them in the comments so that we can get that sweet validation that we are a lot more connected than we have been made to believe. We prove that all the time. There's no way you can engage in this divination ceremony regularly and not see evidence of us all being super connected. So, are you ready to do this? You don't have to identify as a witch in order to participate in this. And you don't even have to have a deck of cards. You can just come and observe. Lurkers are welcome in this circle. Okay? If at any time you have any questions, please ask them in the comments. Ocean will take care of you, or one of the other witches in the comments will direct you to where you can have access to additional information. 9.999 times out of 10, they're going to refer you to the app that we created that gives you all of that information, like anything that you can imagine that you would have a question about, you could go there and get your answers. Not only get your questions answered by one person, you get them answered by witches from all over the world, which is like, if you're a data witch like me, it's gold. It's so amazing. Anyway, it is, I think, the warmest day of the year here at Weird Brook, the 200-year-old homestead that I live in. Tomorrow is like the warmest day of the year, and we're planning on having dinner out on the sun porch on the deck. So excited about that. Dinner party on the deck to celebrate the incoming of spring. Oh my God, I'm so excited. We're doing so much this year, to expand the resources we have available for neurodivergent witches looking to repair their relationship with their practice and their life and community and themselves. It's so great. I'm going to do what I do to get my system prepared for divination and pull in my gloriously neurodivergent brain back to the task at hand. You do what you do to get your system prepared for divination, and then we'll get into it. Okay? Stim if you need to. Where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? I'm drinking a tea called Vernal Dawn by Dark Alchemy Tea. It's one of the teas that one of the witches left behind when they came to visit Weirdbrook. And I like it. The Page of Swords upright. This card very much has to do with communication and your relationship with being heard. Whatever your perspective or whatever your medicine is, this is about your relationship with being heard, right? And for whatever reason, that has a big influence on the expansion of your relationship with your life right now. And it could be so many different things. It could be the literally starting a podcast or literally writing a book. It could be that, but it could also be starting a social media thing, talking about the medicine that you're bringing in some way. It could also be you communicating to those around you what it is that you're wanting to do. And it's you talking about something that nobody's talking about. It's innovative, something new and different. And whatever it is that your medicine that you're bringing, that's one of the reasons why it's so freaking important that you do it, is that it's different and it's needed, or you wouldn't be so inspired to do it. Our guides communicate through things like inspiration and curiosity. So if you are deeply curious about something or deeply inspired, the chances of, what do I want to call it? Guidance is that it's guidance. It's like you being nudged. It's your intuition in some way. Okay. It could be knocking on your neighbor's door. It's about this brave communication thing. Thank you, Heather. Now I'm going to see what we're resistant to or in denial of that's influencing our ability to be that like brave communicator. The Hanged Man reversed. This is the second time in a matter of 4 days that we pulled the same card, but the first time we pulled this card, the other witch at Weirdbrook pulled the exact same card in another room across the hall. Right? Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting. Clearly, we're in resistance or in denial of it because we pulled it the first time it was in our highlighted. And now it's in shadow, which means we kind of looked at it the other day, but we're like, nope, I'm not going to look at it. So I'm going to bring your attention back to whatever it is about something that you feel strongly about inside that the people around you don't understand why you're making it hard on yourself, right? Or if you were transparent about whatever this is that you feel strongly about, you think that people are going to think that you're like crazy or being dramatic, or it's be intentionally sacrificing something, like intentionally sacrificing your time, it could be resources, it could be so many different things. But the feeling signature of whatever this is not a martyr, right? But someone who is clearly sacrificing ease or comfort for what they believe in, right? And this could have something to do with you communicating that, right? Or connecting with others that are doing the same thing, right? Communicating it, talking about it more. But you're not talking about it more because you don't want to be seen as like the hangman. You don't want to be seen as this person who is making this like internal sacrifice. But if there was ever a time, 'tis ripe. The season is ripe for this right here. And it's interesting also that I am like leaving you on this because I'll be back on Friday, but we do this every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So you have a few days to brew on it. Whatever this is, whatever relationship you have with being a brave communicator, and whatever's keeping you from being a brave communicator has the feeling signature of like sacrifice. Like you're doing this like deep internal work and deeply emotional, but nobody understands why you're doing it. Okay? That kind of stuff. Okay. Nobody else needs to understand what you're doing. Your practice doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. It doesn't. When all is said and done, what's important is you engaging with your life in a way that you are proud of. Period. And that's going to change throughout your life. What did I feel before I went online about my mission? I have a special relationship with tech. If it wasn't for like business stuff or connecting with other like witches in a professional way, I wouldn't be on social media at all. I wouldn't. And so when I started getting this like strong inclination, it felt like pressure, even though it didn't make any sense because I'm like ugh, with tech and with being online in general. I knew then, because it was so different and there was so much pressure, I couldn't not do it. And not only that, I saw sign after sign after sign. And hindsight, when I look back, this has been a long time coming. Like I have been set up to be able to do this in a way that can actually influence. I couldn't not do it. I was obsessed. I felt obsessed with it. Yeah. Yeah. There is a little bit of internal work to do about that feeling signature. Is it pressure or is it urgency? Right. Because a lot of times we get those confused because we haven't actually taken the time to feel into the difference. Does it feel like urgency? Urgency usually feels like you're afraid of something or there's a consequence that you're trying to like avoid. That usually has to do with urgency. Pressure is this like, you can't stop thinking about it. It keeps coming up in conversation. You find yourself like planning for it, thinking about how it would like work out. It feels like obsession. I think it feels that way. And I think that from the outside looking in, bright and dark center looked like obsession to everyone else, but I'm also very like monotropic, very much so about what I'm passionate about. My whole life was in preparation for what I'm doing right now. And I see that now that I have aligned with my calling, I see how I've been prepared my whole life. And I'm seeing how the witches I work with are starting to see how they've been preparing for this work their whole life. It's a whole thing. Yeah. All right, guys. This is our reading, and that's it. It's a good one. Thank you, Ocean, for being our mod today. And thank you, everyone, for showing up. Yeah. This is going to be, we're getting into spring, guys. It's very exciting. And you're allowed to celebrate it. That, I keep getting that over and over and over again because so many of us right now in this season, and this is coming from an Alaskan, right? If you started talking about spring, people would like side eye you so hard, like you're going to jinx it. So, like, don't talk about the fact that the weather's turning because the truth is that there's still like 2 months of ice. I'm not in Alaska anymore. So I understand that, but you allowing yourself to like celebrate, even if it's what you consider a false spring, it is spring flirting with you and it feels so great, doesn't it? Like, doesn't it feel so great? Anyway, that's the vibe I'm in. All right, let's close out this working and then we will get on with our day. All right, witches. And remember, if you can't be good at it. All right. Bye.